Matlock of West Asheville Yoga and Freedom of Movement Bodyworks in Asheville, North Carolina. And today I'm going to show you about how to effectively roll using balls or a foam roller your abductor outer hip muscles. Really important muscles to know how to roll if you're having any sciatica type pain, sacroiliac joint pain, sacral pain, outer hip pain, or weakness in your hips. The abductor muscles abduct the leg, so they lift your leg out to the side. And these muscles are gluteus minimus and gluteus medius. And gluteus minimus and medius live on the outside of your hip. So the top rim of the pelvis is here, and the greater trochanter of the femur is right here. So gluteus medius attaches along the greater trochanter and follows all along the front, side, and all the way to the back to the sacrum of the side of the pelvis, the ilium. Gluteus minimus is just a mini-me version of that muscle. So knowing how to roll these two muscles is so important for any kind of hip issues. I like to use a larger air-filled ball, a smaller ball to get into gluteus minimus when I'm on the side, or even a foam roller. It's important to know that the gluteus medius holds its points along the top rim of the pelvis. So you're going to get down on your balls or your foam roller, you're going to want to roll kind of in the center of your butt, and that's going to feel great, but that's a different muscle altogether. You want to make sure that you can find that top rim of the pelvis. So we're going to find it first with the foam roller, then we're going to work with the balls and end up in gluteus minimus on our sides with a smaller ball, and you kind of need a smaller ball to get in there. The foam roller can work, but a smaller ball is so great. So the first thing I'm going to do is get on the foam roller, and I like short foam rollers because I find the big ones are cumbersome. If you have a big long one, you can just take it to someone with a bandsaw and they can cut it short if it's in your way. And I'm sit right on the foam roller. Then I'm going to lift up and I'm going to tilt my pelvis to the side so that one side of my bum lays on the foam roller. And I can just release that other hand. And I'm just going to roll up and down. And I find that the bottom is my sitting bone, and then at the top is the top rim of my pelvis. So then I can just rock side to side, finding some of those tender spots in the gluteus medius muscle. I have found this is an important muscle for treating restless leg syndrome also. So if you have restless legs, it's great to release this muscle as well. So just find a spot, pause, take a breath, sink down, and then maybe just roll a little bit along that spot. So gluteus medius will hold its points right at the SI joint. So here's the sacrum in the middle, right at the SI joint right next to it, and then along that top rim of the pelvis. So you could do that just by rocking on the foam roller like I just showed you, or you could also use a larger air-filled ball or a pink ball. A larger air-filled ball will feel perhaps a little more comfortable than than the pink ball, because the pink balls can be pretty hard. So I bring the ball right next to the sacrum, and I want to tilt my knees toward that side. So there's the ball underneath me right next to my sacrum, and I'm going to just kind of wiggle around until I find a particularly exquisite spot right there. And then I'm going to pause and sink, take a breath. I'm going to take 2 breaths here. And I'm just going to move on. I'm going to keep rolling out along the top rim of the pelvis. Notice the ball is not down here in my butt, but it's higher up right before my low back, because that's where gluteus medius holds its trigger points. So I'm going to wiggle along, kind of break up some of the fascial adhesions and the connective tissue. Then I find another spot right in the middle at the top rim of the pelvis. That's gluteus medius point number 2. I'm going to pause and sink there, and then I'm going to move on again. I start rolling toward the outside of the hip, so this other side starts to lift up. I start to roll toward my side, and then I find is a third spot in gluteus medius. There's usually 3 major areas where gluteus medius holds its points. And then I'm just going to move around and kind of free that up a little bit, roll all around there, maybe roll a little lower just for fun because it feels great. And then I'm going to finish up my abductors by laying on my side. I have to lay on the side, and the whole of the femur lays on the side. So I just have to slide the ball right into that spot right on the side of my hip and then sink down. If I add my other knee on top, it's going to add a lot more pressure. So if it's too much pressure, just move that knee away and off to the side. You can lay all the way down. That's going to put a lot more pressure in. You can come up on your hands. That'll be less pressure in the side. So just finding just that right amount of pressure and weight to sink down. Rolling a little bit toward the front, dropping the other leg over. And I'm really close to the top of the femur, right on the side of the pelvis. And then after I spend some time on my abductors, I always do my favorite stretch, windshield wipers. I lay down on my back, step my feet at least as wide as my yoga mat, and then drop side to side. And what I notice is that the side that I just rolled, the knee always drops more easily to the floor as that tissue on the outer hip has been released. So I hope that's helpful. Thanks for watching.